Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, the iron ore price in China has now broken up through $100 a tonne. But first, the latest reading of American consumer sentiment has brought a surprising fall, one on strong partisan lines. But as the survey notes, those with negative outlooks tend to act on them as opposed to those with positive outlooks. The survey's authors say this is a concerning signal, even though the absolute level remains high. The January 2017 US federal budget surplus was bigger than expected at $51 billion, due mainly to almost a 10% rise in tax receipts from the same month a year ago. Fiscal year to date, however, their budget deficit is only marginally 2% smaller than the same period last year. And over the weekend, Federal Reserve Vice Chairman Stanley Fischer noted there is rising and significant uncertainty about American fiscal policy under the Trump administration. But the Fed would be strict in meeting targets of creating full employment and getting inflation to 2%. In Switzerland, voters clearly rejected plans to overhaul their corporate tax system, sending the government back to the drawing board as it tries to abolish ultra-low tax rates for thousands of multinational companies without triggering a mass exodus from them. In Panama, both name partners of the now famous firm of Mossack Fonseca have been arrested on money laundering charges. The arrests are linked to corruption and bribery allegations involving Brazil's construction giant Odebrecht. In China, iron ore prices have hit $100 a tonne in their futures market. Far from collapsing as many observers expected, iron ore is hitting new highs almost every week, up 8% in the latest period. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year yield is higher by another 2 basis points, now at 2.41%, and the risk premium our banks are paying for wholesale credit, as measured by the credit default swap spreads, is now at its lowest in 111 months. That is since November 2007 and before, when the GFC started to bite. Oil prices are higher again today, now just under $54 for the US benchmark, while the Brent benchmark is just under $57 a barrel. And there's been another strong rise in the number of new drilling rigs brought online in North America last week. They've risen a massive 80% since June last year. The gold price is marginally higher, up $2 and now at $1,234 an ounce. And the New Zealand dollar is pretty much unchanged since this time on Friday. It is now at 72 US cents. On the cross rates, we're at 93.9 Aussie cents, and against the euro, 67.7 euro cents. The TWI is still at 77.4. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.